Hi, Neil Hogan here at Totally Guitars. I want to take a quick look today at a song that's really fun to play, the Indigo Girls, Closer to Fine. It's really pretty easy chords, but it's just some high energy strumming, and this is a really fun thing to do. Right now my daughter Rebecca is working on it. So we are playing some chords that are sort of normal. There's a G chord, there's a lot of different ways to finger G, and over at Totally Guitars I've got more extensive thoughts and topics on how different ways of playing G, why you use one here, why you use one there. So that's all the kind of stuff that I address in our more detailed lessons. But the G that we want for this, first of all, we're capoed at the second fret. They do this for their voices. If you're going to sing it, you don't need to be capoed at the second, but since I'm there right now, because I want it to kind of sound like the record, you know. Ooh, I'm getting old. It's a record. Anyway, we've got a G chord played with a high G and a high D. So your third and fourth fingers are up at the third fret of the first and second strings. Then you've got your first and second fingers down on the two bass notes on the fifth and sixth strings where they normally would be for a G chord. The G's in this are played like that. Then we leave the two high notes on. Your third and fourth fingers are not moving. They're going to stay right there. You're going to take these two fingers off, move your first finger to the second fret of the fourth string, giving us an A7 suspended 4 chord, because we're going to hit A in the bass on that chord. Then we're just going to add a C by adding your second finger at the third fret of the fifth string. And then we're going to keep the two high notes on one more stroke when we go to a D chord, but the D, so your first finger now moves to the third string at the second fret. We catch an up on that. This is D suspended 4. An up on D by taking the G sharp off to get to the G off to get to F sharp. Then we take the F sharp off to E for another up for a D suspended 2, and then we put the F sharp back on for the last 3 eighth notes in that measure. So, really slowly. Now, I didn't talk too much about the strum. You hit the bass, which is G for the first chord, A for the second, C for the third, and on the D we don't get to a bass note. But you hit a bass note, then a down, then down, up, down, up. So that'd be a quarter on the bass, a quarter on the down, and then 4 eighth notes. Da, 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 da. So, start working on that. I'll continue this lesson soon over at Totally Guitars. Hi, thanks for coming over to Totally Guitars video side. I'm really glad you're here, and I hope you are interested in checking out the song I'm looking at now. You probably recognize it as the Indigo Girls tune, Closer to Fine. I know I had a little bit of this up earlier, so I'm going to run through just briefly what happens in the beginning. Again, we have a capo at the second fret, and which doesn't need to be there depending on what key you want to sing it in. So again, capos are a little bit, we talk about that in other places, but kind of optional. But I have it here just so you can hear what it sounds like at the real pitch. The G chord, of course, in the song, well, the key to this song is 3 of the chords are all played with 2 common notes held down, the D and the G at the third fret of the first and second strings, playing those with your third and fourth fingers. So these 2 fingers, for actually a while, stay there, and then your first and second fingers play the fifth and sixth strings for a G chord. Your first finger moves to the fourth string at the second fret, using an open A in the bass for what's an A7 suspended 4. You add your second finger to C in the bass to give us a C add 9, and then we get to the D chord, and it starts with the first stroke on the D, which is an up on the last and of the third measure, is an up on D suspended 4, which is of course played with the same 2 fingers there. Then on the next up to a regular D, then on the next up, taking off your second finger, taking off the F sharp, leaving an E in there, making it a D suspended 2, and then back on to make it a regular D chord. Here that part is again, kind of slowly. Hit the bass note first. A. Don't hit that hard though. C. And then up on D suspended 4, D, D suspended 2, D. Without the narration. Oh, that was way less frantic, huh? Okay. Calm down. I'm good. Okay, so it runs through that twice. Now, the kind of unusual part of the song. Put on a C chord. Hopefully you know C chord. If not, go find the other videos that have C's in it. First finger on the second fret of the second string, on the first fret of the second string, on the note C, folks. Second finger on E on the D string, second fret, and third finger on C on the fifth fret of the, on the fifth string, third fret. I gotta stop this fret numbering stuff and just go with the names of the notes. I keep saying that and I keep not doing it. Okay. C. We're going to play a D chord in this C shape. Slide the C up to the third fret. Slide it up a whole step. This is now a D chord that actually has an E in it and a G in it. We could call it, if you want to do your homework, nah, I'll tell you. We could call it D add 9 add 11, if we cared. All we got to know is, let's just call it D add 11, because it has a ninth in it too, though. That would be the E. The 11th would be the G. Anyway. So a lot of the song has this D chord played in the C shape just slid up, which gives you really nice dissonance in the song. So that's what we have now. Now this happens twice. And that's the end of the first verse. It comes back and runs through the little riff. Into the second verse. Here's the whole second verse. I don't know the words. That's just an excuse because I can't sing this. This one at least. Here's our D add 11. C. Back to our G chord. And a little flourish on there just by moving your first finger to the fourth string and back. So nice little hammer onto an E that gives us the hint of a C chord. We could really call it G6 if we cared. Okay, now we're into the chorus. Really normal. D chord, 2 measures, C. We play the C the same way. Sorry. D, and it's a C add 9. And the G, the full G again, does it again. Don't hit that bass note. C and G, back to our D add 11. Happens again. Anyhow, you get the idea. Actually, it doesn't happen again right there. I forget. But that should be enough for you to listen to the song and figure out what's going on. So that's as much as I want to take a look at for now. I will eventually get a complete lesson up on this that talks you through everything. Tells you the whole history of the song, the who sang it, who wrote it, what album it was on, you know, what kind of keys they're in, and what the strumming patterns are, and stuff like that. But for right now, just a quick look, or a little more detailed look than the video that's floating around at other sites. So again, I want to thank you for coming over here to totallyguitars.com to check out the videos that we have exclusively here, and hope you enjoy playing Closer to Fine.